Thank you. I thought, oh my gosh, then you're going to. Thank you. Expert at this. I appreciate it. Thank you for being your chivalry. I'm just so glad you all are here with us. I'm Nancy Bass-Wyden. I'm the third generation owner of the Strand Bookstore. Mr. Mayor, to have you and the First Lady, who is also a poet, here at the Strand is such a special honor. Both of you have emphasized the importance of community participation in tackling tough challenges. As you can imagine, in our 93-year-old history at the Strand, my family has been through so many obstacles: the Depression, 2 world wars, big box stores, e-books, even online giants. We have never faced an obstacle as big until this pandemic. And I know other small businesses feel this way. And to deal with the tough challenges, I'm so appreciative that I'm surrounded by all these great champions of New York City small businesses. Around me, Congresswoman Maloney, Commissioners Del Castillo, Commissioner Doris, and Manhattan Borough President Gail Brewer. So, Mr. Mayor, having you and the First Lady here, both emphasizing shop local, when our biggest season is right now until Christmas, gives us more financial resources to get to the other side when the vaccines are here. And one last point, many small businesses owners have changed our business models on a dime. We can now generate sales through clicks as well as bricks. Our in-store sales, driven by foot traffic, had fallen so dramatically, for us, a 70% decline. The fact that you and the First Lady are here and shopping with us today and encouraging others to shop local is such a much-needed boost for the Strand and other small businesses. Friends, New Yorkers, Mayor de Blasio, from this time on, I hope you will be known as Mayor Shop Local. Thank you.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mayor Shop Local. I'm going to start branding it now. You know, I like the sound of it. Everyone, this is really important. This is really important that we come to places like the Strand and put our money where our mouth is and devote ourselves to these places that make our city so special. This is, you know, that the word iconic is thrown around, sometimes deserved, sometimes not. This is an actual New York City icon right here. Strand stands for so much that is good about New York City because it is about total diversity and freedom of thought, whatever the thought, whatever the viewpoint, whatever the background, it is represented here. And I know, Nancy, that has been something you've been very devoted to, showing voices of the whole city and the whole world. And Nancy, to you and your family, I mean, 93 years is absolutely astounding. And I actually think, even though you are right, you've never met a challenge in many ways as great as this. When you hear that this store survived the Depression and 2 world wars and everything else Nancy said, it gives us some perspective that we will fight back and we will win again. We will overcome again. Thank God there is a vaccine now. The end is in sight. Next year will be a profoundly better year. But we have got to help the places we cherish to survive. That's on all of us. So I won't name any names about online giants and other forms of shopping. Far be it from me to do such a thing. I'll just say, go to the Strand and go to your community bookstore. If you feel comfortable doing it in person, go shop in person because there's no experience more beautiful than being in a bookstore. And if you want to do it online, that's great, but buy local. Buy local. Don't just talk about it. Now I'm going to have to be a little a little bit up in New Yorkers' faces here at this holiday season. Don't just talk about saving small businesses. Actually go out and save them. Go out and use your power and make a difference, because we need the Strand to be here next year and for decades and decades to come. And every community small business you cherish, we need it to be here. So it's something personal for me, and I want you to know this is part of something bigger we're doing, but it's very personal. Nancy, you'll appreciate that there's many, what is it? What's a book file called? What's the word? A bibliophile, thank you. I had a moment there. A bibliophile. And one of them is our son Dante, who explicitly sent his order in for what I would buy for him today. So the tradition has been passed on throughout the family. And this is something we cherish. And I want to turn to, make sure I get it right, yes. The love of my life is someone who loves books so much that wherever you go, in whatever home we've had together, the place is overflowing with books, and you feel the presence of all those authors, and you feel the joy, and you feel the power. And that's what our children grew up with, and that's what they will pass on as well. And then when you say that, you should know there's a reverence for this place. This place is considered a temple for the literary world. And so I now bring you someone who has kept that faith and loves books more than anything in the world, our First Lady, Shirley McCray.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Bill. And thank you all for being here today. This means a lot, not just for the Strand, but for this community and our city. The Strand Bookstore, Bill said it was a temple. I mean, it is so much greater than that. I'm here because I love bookstores. I never turn down an opportunity to spend time in one. It's like good for my mental health to be here. And the Strand is very, very special. Special for me personally and to our family. The last time I was here, I was actually here with Dante. We had a great time. I know the excitement of picking up a great book and getting lost in it. I know how much knowledge and excitement and the ability to travel there is in visiting your local bookstore. And I commend you, Nancy, and your team for finding a way through this crisis to continue bringing New Yorkers all of that adventure and excitement and knowledge that can be gained by spending time in a bookstore. I know it has been anything but easy. And I feel the pain of all of our small businesses in our communities. I do, because I shop local. I hope I can get the name First Lady Shop Local. Yeah. Because, yeah, it does have a ring to it. It's so much fun to get to know the people who run these businesses and be able to support them. They become part of your, an extension of your family in so many ways. And I want every New Yorker to do their part. We all have an opportunity to be superheroes. Get out there and save a small business ourselves by shopping local. Can you say it with me? Shop local. Shop local. That's not hard. So let's do that. Let's fight for them and save our small businesses. Save the heart and soul of our neighborhoods. Thank you.
Thank you, First Lady Shop Local. Now I want to bring forward, I'm going to ask both commissioners to come up because they have been totally devoted to this mission. Ann Del Castillo, who runs the Mayor's Office of Media Entertainment, Janelle Doris, our Small Business Services Commissioner, they both are true believers, and they're going to tell you what the whole city will do together to protect our small businesses and to make sure people are shopping local this season. Come on up, both of you.
I think the First Lady and I are the same height, so thank you. Thank you, Mayor Shop Local. We're here today helping to preserve the city that we love, the New York City that is the creative capital of the world. The Mayor's Office of Media and Entertainment is charged with supporting the city's creative economy, TV, film, theater, music, nightlife, digital content, advertising, and publishing. Together, these industries represent more than $150 billion in economic impact a year and 500,000 jobs for New Yorkers. This is a place where people come from across the globe to make television, film, theater, and music, and it makes sense, not just because New York City is at a global crossroads. It is also the center of our nation's publishing industry since its earliest days. Books are critical sources of inspiration for characters, stories, ideas in film, theater, music. Bookstores, like the Strand, are where writers become inspired, musicians find scores, visual artists find images. They also serve as places of convening in our neighborhoods, often reflecting the diversity and creativity of their communities. That's why my agency was thrilled when Mayor Shop Local asked us to create a program to support bookstores. It's all about the message, right? And at this moment, I would like to thank the mayor for his support, my colleagues at Small Business Services and NYC and Company for their partnership, and all the wonderful New Yorkers, like Nancy, that run bookstores that are so important to us all. You can find our All in NYC Bookstores initiative on the internet at nyc.gov/NYC Bookstores. We provide a list of local bookstores for all of you to shop at and access special offers, discounts, and even money back on certain purchases. So visit nyc.gov/NYC Bookstores, support your local bookstores, and support all of your local businesses, because New York City wouldn't be the New York City we love without them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And I must salute Mayor Shop Local and First Lady Shop Local as well. And Shop Local, okay. John Aldorsa, city's small business commissioner. Today is a big day. Today is an exciting day. I just left Flushing as we started our 5-borough tour around the city to support small businesses. And from here, we're going to Brooklyn, Mr. Mayor. And we're going to be having some really, really interesting times down in Bed-Stuy, working with our local businesses there and also helping them to understand the services that we have to provide. And Nancy, it's so good to be back. It seemed like yesterday, which almost was actually, when we were here with the Congresswoman, to really bring the light to what the small businesses are actually facing today. And I just want to say, I mean, my plea is very simple. I think we know that out of the 240,000 small businesses in the city, they employ 3.6 million people. We cannot have a full city resurgence without our small business community. And that's why we're here today. We want to make sure that the small businesses who actually are near and dear to our community survive, like this store here, like the Strand. That's why I was here. And I just personally, I was here looking for a specific book. I was looking all over for it. I was here last week, and Nancy found it herself. I had a like personal treatment here, and they found it. That's the uniqueness about this place. You can find a book that you can't find anywhere else. And more importantly, the people that work here behind this door, downstairs, behind the shelves, that's who we're here to support. That's who we want to make sure that they have an opportunity here in the city. So today, we want everyone to know you need to shop your city, shop local, buy local. Make sure you do that. How can you do that? Well, you can do it by socially distancing at visiting the store. Make sure you wear a mask and also stay 6 feet apart. Do it in a safe way. Secondly, you can go online. You can go online and shop, find one of your local businesses and shop there. You can go to our website at sbsnyc.gov/SBS. We have a list of small businesses in your community. You can get the support there that you need to find them. And then lastly, it's important for us to remind our neighbors and our friends that this is the time. 70% of sales are generated during this time. We need you to shop local. We need you to shop your city. We need you to shop small businesses in New York City. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, commissioners. And very important fact came out this week. We talked about earlier in the week that because our federal government invested in stimulus. Over the course of the spring and summer, about $40 billion came into New York City to the people through unemployment insurance and the direct support checks and the small business loan program. And that's one of the reasons we stayed afloat. And one of the people who made that happen is with us here, and she is now trying to go back and make more happen because we need to break through to that recovery moment when the vaccine is fully here and we take a step into what I guarantee will be a better year, 2021. That's my prediction. Absolutely positively will be a better year. And we need the help from Washington we deserve so we can keep moving forward, and someone who's fighting every day for it, Congress member Carolyn Maloney.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor and First Lady, and our wonderful Borough President. Thank you so much for being here. You honor us with your presence, and all of the commissioners and Nancy, everyone who's working to save our small businesses, all of them, not just Strand, not just the iconic businesses that we have, but the businesses that are there every single day to serve people. The mayor noted that $40 billion had come into the city, and it's not enough. Every time I look around, I see another small business that has closed its door, and it's like a little knife in my heart. And we really have to pull through this. When I get back to Washington, believe me, we will continue pushing for another COVID relief package. The mayor has told me that there is a $9 billion hole in his budget due to the money that we have put out to keep this city going. And think of all of the developments that have come from the city, all the new ways to treat people, from coning, turning them over, and sleeping on your stomach can save a person's life. Can you believe? That was discovered in New York City, and one of the vaccines was discovered here in New York City by Pfizer. So we are so proud of our medical community and what they're doing to bring a stop to this, but it has cost a lot of money and a lot of lives, and we need that COVID relief package. We're also working on a long-range solution for the next pandemic will surely come. We need to learn from this, as we did from 9/11. We passed the TRIA bill, the anti-terrorism risk insurance, that has allowed us to rebuild, get insurance, rebuild Lower Manhattan. We couldn't rebuild until we got insurance. It's the same here. If these businesses go out of business, they can't get credit. They really can't get credit unless it's known that they can continue, reopen, and thrive. And that's what the pandemic risk insurance plan does, and that's what I'm working on to pass in Washington. But all of us have a role to play to get out and buy local, support local. Support your local drugstores, food stores, clothes stores, and bookstores. We're all in this together, and we have a great mayor and first lady leading us. And thank you, Nancy, for opening up your home and your business so many times to tell the story of the need, not only for your business, but of all the businesses in our great city. We have to get over this hump. I can assure you in February, there will be a Biden relief package that will pass. But we need something before then to tie these businesses over, or I'm afraid every day another and another falls out. They're not able to continue. They can't get the credit. They can't pay their employees. They need the loans. They need the support. And that's what the mayor and I are working on both the local and federal level. Thank you so much.
And lastly, a true booster for our neighborhoods and our neighborhood businesses. Rarely seen such passion on this topic, as you will hear from our Borough President of Manhattan, Gail Brewer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. And I have to say that you have always been true to form in terms of local businesses. And I appreciate that. And I appreciate the First Lady's love of books. If my husband puts one more friggin' book in our apartment, I will not be able to move. I think he lives here, Nancy. He literally lives here. But I also want to thank you because you have at 81st and Columbus, you have in my neighborhood another store. And there was the Endicott 100 years ago. That's when I was there. And then there was the Book Culture and now you. And we're so happy that you're there. And you have a good landlord. If there's any problems, let him know. We'll take care of them because we know him very well. But anyway, the mayor's correct. I have been, since I worked for Ruth Messenger in 1978, very supportive of small businesses. And I get in trouble, but I have only once in my life ordered online from that god-awful big place that I won't mention. And I will only order if I talk to the store online and find out that they're delivering. It can't go through anybody else. I'm very neurotic about it. And I will shop local forever. And I know that the bookstores and the independent bookstores in particular are loved and adored. And I think it's, the pandemic is horrible, but I think it has taught people, for God's sake, go read, and they are understanding that this is a comeback. There are very few good things about this horrible virus. But I think one of them is that people are seeing the virtue and the beauty and the enjoyment and the love and the inspiration that you get from books. And goodness knows Strand has them all. So congratulations. Shop local. Thank you.
Gail just gave us another slogan we'll use, for God's sakes, go read. I think it just says it all. So everyone, as we conclude, I want to remind you, it bears stating there are a lot of people hurting out there. There are a lot of people whose holidays are going to be pretty meager compared to what they would have been if it weren't for this horrible pandemic and the crisis, the economic crisis come with it. So when we say buy local, shop local, I don't want for a moment to be insensitive to the fact there's a lot of people who won't be able to buy what they hoped for, what they're used to. There's a lot of people who are going to need our help. But there also are still, thank God, a lot of people who are employed, who do have some resources, who are going to be celebrating the holidays. And if they just understand, as we're trying to say from the heart, every dollar you keep in the community keeps us alive. Every dollar you spend at the Strand and bookstores in the community stays in the community, keeps people in business, keeps people in their jobs. The money stays and circulates and makes us stronger. So it really is a patriotic act to buy local. It's something we need to do. So everyone is out there making a list, thinking about the weeks ahead. I agree with Gail Brewer. Don't even think about looking far away for how you're going to shop. Just look right down the street to the people we depend on, to the people we love and we've got to support, and buy local. Thank you, everybody.
Let's go shopping.
Enough of this talk, let's go shopping.